For a long time, life felt like something that required upkeep, like there was a state I needed to preserve. If things felt calm, I tried not to disturb them. If things felt clear, I worried about losing that clarity. Even peace carried responsibility. I didn't question that assumption. It seemed obvious that good states had to be protected, that awareness had to be maintained. But somewhere along the way, that effort loosened. Not because I learned how to maintain it better, but because I realized there was nothing to maintain at all. Nothing was being held together by my vigilance. Life didn't depend on my attention to remain intact. This realization didn't arrive as certainty. It arrived as relief. The moment I stopped checking whether I was okay, I noticed that I was. Not in a stable way, not permanently, just in that moment. And the next. Awareness isn't fragile. It doesn't need reinforcement. It doesn't disappear when it's not monitored. The idea that it did was born from effort, from having worked to see clearly once, and assuming that clarity had to be kept alive. But clarity isn't a flame. It doesn't flicker out. It simply isn't something that belongs to me. I've noticed how much tension came from trying to hold myself in a certain way, trying to stay open, trying to stay present, trying to stay aware. Those efforts were subtle but constant. Now they've relaxed. I don't hold myself anywhere. If attention drifts, it drifts. If thought appears, it appears. If confusion shows up, it shows up. Nothing breaks. There's no state to return to. That's the part that feels most different. Before, I was always referencing a previous moment of clarity, trying to re-enter it, trying to keep it alive. Now there's no reference point. Each moment stands on its own. And because of that, nothing needs upkeep. I don't feel the need to guard my inner space. There's nothing that can invade it. I don't feel the need to protect peace. Peace doesn't depend on conditions. It comes and goes like everything else. And that's fine. There's a deep trust that forms here, not in outcomes, but in the resilience of experience itself. Whatever happens can be lived. Whatever fades doesn't need to be restored. I don't fear regression anymore. There's nothing to regress to. There's no higher ground. Just the ground I'm standing on. This changes how I relate to practice. There's no practice to maintain. If something feels supportive, I do it. If it doesn't, I don't. Nothing accumulates. Nothing is lost. Life isn't something I'm keeping in balance. It's something I'm participating in. And participation doesn't require supervision. I can be tired without concern, distracted without judgment, engaged without intention. None of it threatens anything. There's no self to manage behind the scenes. I used to think stability came from consistency, from keeping things aligned. But stability has come from letting go of alignment altogether, from realizing that life doesn't need to be held steady. It already moves as it needs to. I don't feel finished. I don't feel complete. I don't feel unfinished either. Those categories don't apply anymore. There's no internal project nearing completion. Just days unfolding one after another. Some clear, some heavy, some unremarkable. All of them valid. Nothing needs to be maintained for this to continue. No awareness, no peace, no understanding. Life doesn't require a posture. It doesn't ask me to stay awake. It just asks me to live. And living doesn't require effort beyond what the moment already brings. I don't have to keep anything intact. There's nothing I can drop that would undo what's here. This isn't freedom in the dramatic sense. It's freedom from upkeep. And in that freedom, life feels quietly sustainable. Not because it's perfect, but because nothing is being held together by force. Nothing is missing. Nothing is breaking. And nothing needs to be maintained. If this reflection met you where you are, you're already part of this space. You don't need to hold on to it, and you don't need to return. But if you do, these reflections will still be here.